Scott. The Mountainburg School District says this week's severe storms left damage at some of its buildings.
High winds blew the siding off the back of the high school. The middle school also sustains extensive water damage. Now, despite all the damage, students were able to go back to class today. However, buses were not able to navigate all the back roads.
The electrical companies and the crews, I can't applaud them enough. They came up here and worked like crazy. And they said they do their best to get electric, and it was good enough because yesterday evening I got notified that they had restored power to the school.
Lingering power outages are still continuing to impact parts of the River Valley. There's right now about 1,400 homes and businesses still without power even throughout today's dangerous heat. Nearly 350 in Pope County, 250 in Crawford County, 350 still without power in Johnson County.
Arkansas Valley Electric says 25 crews have traveled to the area to work alongside their crews getting the power back on. The electric company says it has identified about 150 damaged poles with 18,000 customers without power at the height of the outage. Several counties in eastern Oklahoma are also without power tonight, including about 400 customers in Cherokee County. The Farmington Police Department is the latest to question the use of license plate reading cameras. The department is now saying it does not plan to renew its contract with Flock Security.
5 News reporter Jada Daniels explains why the department is now moving forward with this recommendation after an audit showed these Flock cameras were pointing toward private property.
The debate over Flock cameras continues to grow with privacy at the center of the conversation. Here at Creek Park, the police say an audit revealed that some of the Flock cameras were able to see onto private property. I spoke with those in the area about the recommendation to terminate the contract. Farmington Police Department says Flock cameras are designed to help solve and deter crime. For Asher Eastman, who frequents the city, he tells me the surveillance is just too much.
I feel like they're just an invasion of privacy. I just feel like I shouldn't be able to have to go somewhere and always be monitored. I should be able to have at least some privacy going out.
And for neighbor Jacob Hedges, the feeling is mutual.
Personally against Flock cameras, I think that we should protect our privacy moving forward, and I just think that's moving in the wrong direction. I think it starts with Flock. You just never know where it's going to end from there.
In a statement today, Farmington police revealed Flock cameras at Creekside Park were angled where private property was in view. Officers adjusted them to only monitor city property. The department also pointed to false license plate alerts and changes to data access, creating big concerns for community members.
I think the biggest issue probably is that it's like a third-party company that doesn't have any oversight.
If there's ever a hack or anything through that, they can easily get all that information.
Eastman says terminating the contract will be a step in the right direction, and he hopes other cities do the same.
Definitely finding a different solution other than Flock cameras would definitely help. And I feel like that they should also listen to the public's opinion. If they're going around taking it down and they are really disapproving of it, they should definitely listen to what the public has to say about that.
The department says this recommendation was based on state law and citizen privacy, and they no longer have access to the cameras. In Farmington, covering news where you live, Jada Daniels, 5 News.
The suspect accused in the deadly shooting of LaFleur County Deputy Walker LeMay is scheduled to appear before a judge tomorrow. Edgar Lara, charged with first-degree murder and is being held without bond while he awaits trial. He's charged also with 8 counts of shooting with intent to kill and use of an incendiary device. The last hearing in the case was June 10th, when both prosecutors and defense attorneys said they were still waiting on reports from the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation. Now, the deadly shooting of Deputy Lamar happened April 19th during an hours-long standoff near Worcester. Town's police chief, Andy Thompson, was also injured. Police say the standoff began after law enforcement responded to a welfare check at a home. Tomorrow's hearing is happening in Poteau. A former University of Arkansas police officer pleads not guilty today to allegations that he kept explicit photographs of children. 55-year-old Sisawat Singmontong was also assigned a public defender today. The judge set bond at $100,000. According to court documents, investigators discovered the illegal photos on an electronic device when police were called to a domestic incident in April. The alleged victim also told officers Sibongtong sexually assaulted them. He is being held tonight in the Crawford County Jail.
A plan to change Fort Smith's form of government is now officially set to go before voters this November. City directors passed an ordinance last night that lets voters decide on changing from a city administrator to a mayoral form of government. A citizen-led petition effort to do the same thing was also certified by the city clerk, but the city attorney said it could have faced hurdles. And if both the ordinance and the petition went through, there would be identical proclamations.
So what I would suggest, and this is just, I've talked to no one about this, is if the board passes some ordinance tonight, I would encourage the petitioners to withdraw their petition so that there is not competing, dueling, identical proclamations which may end up on a November ballot.
The leaders of the petition agreed during last night's meeting that they would consider withdrawing the petition. Early voting starts tomorrow in Oklahoma's primary runoff election. Election day is next Tuesday. Voters can cast their ballots for early voting starting at 8 a.m. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Early voting hours will wrap up at 6 tomorrow and Friday. On Saturday, early voting sites close at 2. You can find information about the early voting sites on the State Election Board's website.
Developing today, we have learned Arkansas's governor has appointed a special justice to serve on the state Supreme Court. Corey Cox will serve for Barbara Webb till she gets back to work following an injury. Chief Justice Karen Baker requested the governor assign a special justice to fill in temporarily through several big cases going before the court. His term will end on December 31st or upon the return of Justice Webb.